They're making a live-action One Punch Man movie. This is why America is not allowed to enjoy anime. So news broke out not too long ago that Sony was developing a One Punch Man live-action movie. And the people working on it are going to be the same writers for Venom. Haven't seen Venom, but I heard that it was pretty bad and yet enjoyable. That makes sense? I don't know. So Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pinkner are set to write a live-action film adaptation of the worldwide hit manga series One Punch Man for Sony Pictures. And let's be honest, is anyone really surprised that there's going to be a live-action version of One Punch Man? Whenever any anime is popular, it gets a live-action adaptation. I think there's this misconception that a live-action adaptation of an anime is like the next step. Like, if a manga series is good, it becomes a anime series, and if that anime series is good, then it gets an animated movie, then it gets a live action movie, and if it gets to the live action movie, that's when it must be really good, right? But you see, certain things work in certain mediums. Certain things don't really cross over well into the live action realm, which is kind of why Dragon Ball Z does not work as live action. Now, what I'm assuming they're going to adapt is probably Saitama meeting Genos. The main villain of the movie is Boros. Maybe they go with the season 1 Boros theme and then just cut out everything in the middle. But yeah, like I said before, I cannot imagine this working as a live action film. And I think a lot of anime out there, especially parody anime like this, I don't think that they can be translated into live action well, because you lose something when you translate it into live action. For example, Saitama. Who the hell can they possibly cast as Saitama? This character, part of the joke behind him is he looks kind of skinny, he looks kind of lazy, and then all of a sudden he'll just have these super defined muscles. And the expressions! How are you gonna make these types of expressions? They're so well done, so well exaggerated in its animated form. How are you gonna translate that to live action? The answer is, you're not. So you lose something that makes this show so charming. And then it's just some generic superhero show. Like Your Name became like super popular all of a sudden. One of the reasons why it became so popular is because it had the most stunning visuals. And then of course Hollywood's gonna step in and be like, I want a slice of that success. I'm gonna make a live action version of Your Name. But if you take out all the stunning visuals that the animation added to that movie, that they worked really hard to achieve in that movie, then you just have some body swap movie. And there are a million body swap movies. I mean, that's just me putting it very bluntly. There's a lot of charm that comes from animation that you lose by turning it into live action. You think that it's a step up, but it's not. Insiders say Sony is very high on the property given its popularity and the possibility of adding another franchise to the pipeline. A One Punch Man live action franchise, it's not gonna work. You see, I'm really proud of anime becoming as popular as it's become, and it's getting even more popular as years go by and more people are becoming aware of animated shows and comics in Japan that are really, really good, such as One Punch Man. And of course, whenever another country is doing something that's becoming very popular and very successful, Hollywood needs to step in and be like, how can I get a slice of this pie? See, the job of Hollywood when they make these live action adaptations, it's not necessarily to do it for the fans or to do something better necessarily. It's to sell an already popular brand to the mainstream of people. So the idea is the mainstream, the people who go to see movies, typically have a stigma against going to see animated movies. A lot of adults out there still have this idea that anything animated is only for kids. And it's a stigma that we're definitely moving away from as years go on, but it's still there. So because a big majority wouldn't go to see an animated adult film in the theaters, Sony wants to take this property and make it into a live action so that it can appeal to more people. They take an already working, functional story, they adapt it into a live action, and try to sell it to people who might not even be aware of this anime existing. And the fact that the fans go to see these movies is just extra icing to the cake, because the fans are curious and they want to see if it actually turns out good, if it's an actual decent adaptation. It usually never is. That's not me saying that all anime movies are doomed to fail, but they do tend to miss the mark, and some anime movies just were never meant to be adapted into live action. Like One Piece. They're making a live action Netflix show for One Piece that doesn't work, and I did a whole video about that, talking about how that definitely won't work because One Piece is too goofy. One Punch Man is too goofy. And if you take out all the goofy elements of it to make it for the mainstream, then it's just bland. Then it's just not charming anymore. And I don't know, maybe you're fans of Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pinkner. Maybe you think that they'll actually do a good job with what One Punch Man has to offer. I know that a lot of people out there know about One Punch Man and enjoy it on Adult Swim. Maybe they've seen it before, maybe they kind of got some idea on how they can adapt it and make it work. And most people who are fans of One Punch Man are going to hold their judgment until they actually see a trailer or set photos or something from this project that can solidify a feeling of trust, you know? Like, if it looks good, maybe people are willing to trust that it'll turn out okay. And even if it's not an accurate adaptation, even if it's not, like, good as an adaptation, it can still be a good movie on its own. I've definitely seen, like, adaptations of things that were really bad adaptations. They were really bad at representing the original source material, but they were fine on their own. If you never saw the source material, then you would be fine with seeing it. And that's the real goal of Hollywood when they make these adaptations. So let me know what you think about this news down below in the comments section. Are you interested in a One Punch Man live action movie? Are you kind of on my side where you're like, I don't think this will work, it's too goofy? A lot of the visual jokes are going to be lost and that'll make it lose its charm. How much trust do you have already in this project? Are you going to wait until you actually see something first? Let me know any and all thoughts you have, and remember to like the video. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!
Program restart.